Hello, I'm Jessie Macy, and today I'm going to be doing a lesson on media literacy. Okay, this is intended for a seventh, eighth, or ninth grade class, middle school, early high school course. The Common Core standards that will be exhibited in this lesson could be this one here that is intended for 9th, 10th grade students making strategic use of digital media in presentations to enhance understanding of findings, reasoning, and evidence, and to add interest. Also, this other literacy standard, adapting speech to a variety of contexts and tasks, demonstrating command of formal English when indicated or appropriate. The materials you will need for this will be a computer with internet access, the guiding questions for media literacy handout, which has been provided to all students, and the media literacy terms and concepts, which has also been given out to all students. Our objectives and outcomes for this lesson will be the following. At the end of this lesson, students are going to be able to analyze how images are constructed to communicate ideas, to influence emotions, and to create a brand. Students will be able to communicate ideas about images and social media posts with others. And students are going to be able to design their own media campaign for a particular audience and purpose. Our main essential question is, how are images and social media posts constructed to create a particular effect on their audience or to communicate ideas? First, we need to talk about what is media exactly. We encounter this all the time, but we need to actually have a good definition, a solid understanding. So, media is considered the plural of medium. Medium just refers to something that we use when we want to communicate indirectly with people, not face to face. So, there are many examples: texts, music, Facebook, movies, TV, photography, magazines, and the list can go on and on. It can be very small and personal, just in between two people, or it can be meant for a much larger audience. Now, when we're talking about media, we also need to discuss copyright. Copyright law gives creators the right to decide what happens to their work that they create. As a creator of media, you can decide who does the following. Can they make copies? Are they allowed to distribute copies of your work? Can they display or perform the work in public? And can they make derivative works, meaning some kind of a spin-off of your own work? Basically, if it involves creativity and it's written down, recorded, or saved, then it's probably protected by copyright. Now that leads us to fair use. Fair use is an important part of copyright that allows us to use copyrighted protected work without permission in limited ways that are considered fair to the owner or creator. Unfortunately, this is where things get a little complicated. There's not a specific rule about what counts as fair use. The good rule of thumb that we are going to need to remember in the classroom is that if we are using it for educational purposes, then it is free for us to use. It would be considered fair use. Now back to media. Okay, media is always created for a purpose. So you must remember that all forms of media are constructed. Various forms of media are created to communicate ideas and or to have an impact on their audience. As critical readers, we can analyze various forms of media from a variety of perspectives and consider the impact that media has on our greater society. Now, why what we see matters? Okay, we are surrounded by media. We see it all day, everywhere we look. Why does that matter? Okay, let's think about that for a minute. Your brain sees these examples of media and we create meaning for them. This meaning can directly impact your worldview and how you feel about certain subjects, people, places, etc. It really is vital to remember who is creating the media and what message they are trying to send. We have to be critical thinkers when we are analyzing media. So here's some visual elements to consider. Okay, I want you to keep these terms in mind. We might even write these down just so that we can kind of have it in our heads while we're looking through some of these images together today. Okay, number one is composition. We're going to talk about the foreground, the midground, and the background of pictures. We're going to talk about cropping. Okay, size and shapes of elements relative to one another in the picture. Use of color, lighting, or contrast. The setting, and the use of people and animals. All right, so let's look at this one. We have a picture here, and we need to ask ourselves these three main questions. Number one, what do we see? Number two, how does it make us feel? And then number three, what is the image trying to tell us? What is the purpose of this image? So let's talk about this one here. We see it looks like this is street art. It is painted on a wall here. You can see. It looks like to me that this is a lady that is in scrubs. So I am thinking she is a doctor or a nurse. She's wearing a mask, but on that mask is the Superman symbol. So I'm seeing this, I'm thinking Superman, she's a superhero, she's saving people, all of that. But then do you notice down in the bottom left-hand corner where it says fake? So we have this whole concept of during the pandemic, we had stories of fake news, and then we had nurses and doctors, giving their side of the story. And it was just this big controversial issue. And this picture really does help show that. Okay. So this is kind of what we're doing. That's what we're going to be talking about and discussing when we see these images. All right. Now, sometimes the images are not as serious. Sometimes they can be quite entertaining. All right. So let's see. 3 questions again. What do we see here? What is the image trying to tell us? And how does the image make us feel? Okay. We have Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. He is standing in a pile of Christmas presents and wrapping paper. He's got a tree. He is still wearing, a sleeveless top to kind of show us how big and tough he is at all times, even while wearing a Santa hat. And the image kind of makes us smile. It makes us laugh a little. There's a whole lot of things going on here. We have presents. There's a tree. He looks like, he's in shock maybe by all of the presents that he's surrounded by and the trash that he has to clean up himself. It kind of gives a feeling of humor, and just kind of fun in a way, and it's pretty funny. All right. Now, here are some interesting places where you can go to find images for this next task. We have best photos from 2020 in the Washington Post. We have, sorry about that. There's several places that you can find images on that previous slide. I'll go back to that here in just a minute. Now, here's what you're going to do. You are going to go find an image of your choice. You are going to paste it here on this side of the slide because each of you students have received a copy of this presentation, which you're looking at right now with me. Then after you paste your image here, I want you to answer these 3 questions about it. Okay, I want you to type your answers to each question. What do you see? How is the image composed? How does it make you feel? And then what do you think the image is trying to tell us? Okay, now once we're finished with that and we've discussed in class together a little bit of that practice, you're going to take it up to the next level. And one thing we know is that people learn best by doing. So creating a piece of media seems like a great way for us to showcase our ideas that we have studied in this media literacy unit. So you've seen how important creating message is. Now it's your turn. So look at these advertisements. So we have this one up here. We have these girls. Oh, they look tough. And it says My Runway. All right. And they have it's Adidas. So there's a clothing ad. Down here, oh, we have Kraft macaroni and cheese. It's missing ingredients that you're not going to miss. Oh, so it makes it sound kind of healthier. So it must be taking out some bad ingredients. And so we're happy about that. And then over here, oh, those perfume and cologne advertisements are always the best. Givenchy's Gentlemen Only. Look, he's standing in the pouring rain, still looking very dashing, while holding the umbrella over the lady who looks lovely. So we have all these ads. What is their intent? What are they trying to communicate to us? And look, these are things that we will see every day and not even think about it. We are internalizing messages from these ads without even realizing it. Okay, so now you are going to create an advertisement. You have three options for what you may create your piece of media about. You may, number one, create an advertisement for a school club. This can be for an existing club or a new one. You could also create an advertisement for a new mascot for our school. Okay, if you want to change our mascot from the Chaffin Cougars to something different, okay, what would it be? What would it be? Or, do we need a new person? Our current mascot, he's going to be going on up to high school next year. So, who would be our new mascot? Number three, create an advertisement for a sports team at our school. Feel free to create a team for a sport we don't offer, but that you wish we had. So it could be for our sports, basketball, volleyball, football, that we currently have. But should we start incorporating a swimming team at our school? That would be pretty cool. So totally up to you on which one of these options you want to use. Here are your requirements. You can choose to create any type of media that you want. So options include you can use Google Slides, you can use PowerPoint, Canva, WeVideo. We love WeVideo. Pick collage, your own drawings, poster. Requirements. It must be a clear, concise piece of media with a clear, concise message. And then I want to write up about a page about your design elements, your intended target audience, and your intended impact effect. Here's the rubric that I'm going to be using with a 1, 2, 3, 4 options. We're trying to get to that distinguished mark. Okay. Proficient is awesome. Distinguished is even better. Okay. So you're going to be graded on your design, your content, your attractiveness, and your write-up. So make sure you pay attention to this rubric, please. Showcase. Your advertisements are going to be included in our class showcase. Other classes will be able to look at your advertisement, and you're going to have the opportunity to look at each other's advertisements created by your peers. We're probably going to invite our administration, other teachers, and other classes maybe to even tour your advertisements that we will include in this showcase. All right. And that will be the end of our lesson today. So I need everyone to go get to work, start thinking and brainstorming about your advertisement, find out how you're going to incorporate that, and I will be walking around to help you.